Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Rusty here, and welcome back to Impact Dynamics for another live show. And tonight is a very exciting one with Ben Jarrett, a regular on the show, and one of the guys who coordinates all the guests and such to come on. So looking forward very much to that, and I know you guys like watching him and checking him out. If you're not familiar with him, you can find his work over at the Long Gun Project, Instagram, YouTube. He hasn't worked out Facebook yet. He'll get there. Anyway, that'll be relevant to what we're talking about tonight. Upcoming shows. Thursday night, Steve Hurt from Outer Edge Projectiles is back, talking reloading, projectiles, and probably focusing more so on reloading, but we'll see how the questions go. So if you're into reloading, it's a dude who really knows his stuff. Look forward to having him back on. There was a lot of questions and really good chat last time. We covered about a tenth of what we could have. No, less than that. We covered about a tenth of what we tried to get through. So there are lots to cover off in there. Stage One, thanks for the sponsorship for the show. You guys can save 10% off at Stage One, which is the Precision Rifle Series website, precisionrifleseries.com.au. You can hook up all the Stage One gear on there. You can also save 10% by using the code IDLive10, IDLive10, and save 10% off all sorts of stuff there, including these hats, these the logo's down. Anyway, you get the idea. It's you see the pictures there, and you'll see Beth all dressed up and looking amazing. So that is go check that out. Now, Team Impact guys who are involved with doing challenges. Andy has got another video here of some suggestions if you are doing some sort of fitness challenge, but we're hearing from who do we hear from today? From Ness, she's into day 8 or something on no booze. Steve is now I forget that. Follow the Instagram stories and Facebook stories. That's where sort of I'm putting all those updates as we go along. But Andy has flicked us a video. This one he made the other day, and if you're looking for ways to work out in the backyard, this is a good option.
All right, isolation, masturbation, workouts. 2 ammo boxes, full of ammo. Let's do this. Yeah, I don't have weights. I just use what I've got. Oh, fuck, they're heavy. Fuck that.
Righto, mate. So you can put that ammo to use and get some guns. Use your ammo on your guns. There's a different way of doing it. All right, a few guys in the chat tonight. Good evening, Craig and Dave and Brad and Steve and Scott and Ben and Paul. Hope you guys are all doing well. Thanks for jumping in there. Let us know what you're up to. Hit us up with any updates on your Team Impact goals, whatever it is that you're doing. Tonight is a bit focused on social media and those sort of topics, and how we as shooters can utilize that or whatever it is. So if you are thinking about sort of starting a profile or starting putting videos out or photos or whatever it is that may be, that is the subject of our discussion this evening. I know a number of guys are doing that, and we've been seeing more of it. We had this discussion a couple of weeks ago, and this is to build on from there. So flick us any questions you have on that topic, chuck them in the chat, and we will get to them shortly. Evening, Warwick. Thanks for saying good day. All right. So my guest tonight, no stranger to the show, Ben Jarrett, runs the Long Gun Project, also one of the directors of the PRS, and just a general all-round top bloke. So let's bring him on in. Ben, how are you tonight?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Good. And just a heads up, Ben lives in the middle of nowhere, so we always just wait for his reply to get there eventually, but he's on his way.
Yeah, that's it, man. The carrier pigeon's got to transport all the digits to the nearest tower.
Gotcha. Excellent, mate. And how are you going with your Team Impact Challenge, mate? Have you doing any sort of walking, running, any weights or anything?
Yeah, I have been. I've been dusting off all the stuff that was in my shed, and I've got the skipping ropes and kettlebells out and that sort of stuff. And just launching straight back into it, which has left me really, really physically sore. And so
good. So
squats were out for like 2 days.
Yep.
So yes, no squats.
No squats.
And I have to be kind of. I probably should ease into it. I've got to be kind of careful. The last thing I want to do is sort of, do any more damage to my already, damaged back courtesy of my time in army. So I just got to make sure that I can, last the distance.
Very, very good, man. Very good. I've actually gone from like just doing little walks and a little bit of boxing to workout. So I've got to give a little shout out to this app called Fitbod, which
nice.
is just like, I'm clueless about this sort of gear. I just like, I guess lifting this 15 times while drinking is useful. And so this app, you put in a few parameters like what you're trying to do, whether you're trying to build strength, body build, or whatever it is, and then you tell it what equipment you have, which is none for me, and then it will and you can tell it how long you want to work out for, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. Put it in there and it'll program out like all these interval sort of exercises and bits and pieces, has a video of every single exercise, so you can watch that and go, how? And then delete that and get it to replace it with something more sensible. But that's the I've found that last few days they're doing like a special no equipment workouts at home, and you don't pay for the app for, I think that's for the rest of April. So but I may have gone. I started off at 10-minute session and I upped it to 30 today and killed myself. So I can relate to what you're saying about going too hard. Shout out to Scotty in the chat as well between hunts. Good to have you here. All right, Ben. Well, I guess we'll get on to our actual topic this evening about a little bit about, but just in case we've got some new viewers, just give us a little snippet on Long Gun Project, how it came about and what it is and bits and pieces.
Yeah, so the Long Gun Project is my YouTube channel, and it's also got an Instagram page as well. And I focus the Long Gun Project stuff on most long-range shooting-related topics. Mm-hmm. So, whether it's, there's a bit of hunting in there, but it's mainly, shooting long range. And I started it so that I could, essentially put videos on YouTube that I suppose I wanted to see, because I wasn't really happy with the sort of stuff that was out there. You get on YouTube and it's like, you're going to shoot 1 kilometre. And then it's all of that and that sort of thing. So it's, initially, I thought it was going to be more informational, but it's sort of evolved a bit, and now it's sort of more about just sharing what I'm doing with the audience as much as possible, and so it's become less informational. There's still info in there, but talk a little bit more about my feelings, how it made me feel, that kind of stuff, because feelings, man.
Yeah, people have those apparently, and perhaps can relate.
They do.
Them. Yeah,
they do. They totally do.
Despite common misconceptions. Yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah,
sweet. So guys, if you're watching, you're not following me already. I mean, are you mad? But the Long Gun Project on Instagram, YouTube, go check it all out. That'd be good, mate. So I think we talked last time a lot about now is actually a really good time to, if you want to crank your socials, and this is, I guess, for guys who want to go down that path of putting more information out about their passion, their hobby, what they do, whether they're related to it in business at all, whether they're related just because they love it and they want to do what you're doing, they want to put information out there so others can learn or whatever it may be. So I think one of the things that you've how long have you been running your channel for, out of interest?
I think, we were talking about it when I'd sort of, I spoke to you about it when I sort of first had the idea, and you said, just, go for it, man. And I think it was, would have been, is it over a year?
Oh, it's definitely over a year.
I think it's been over, it's definitely over a year.
Yeah.
So, it's probably somewhere late 2018.
Yep.
Very late 2018.
Okay. So a bit over a year. So let's say 18 months, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Cool. Yeah.
Whereas I think my first video upload was maybe 2014 or 2015. So I have been struggling with this a lot longer than you have. And I say struggling because I have ebbed and flowed my way through, stumbling my way through this whole scenario. And I guess I guess it's good because we're coming from different points of it. What have been some of the biggest challenges that you've hit in the social side of things?
Well, look, the biggest challenge is probably the first one that jumps to mind is, trying to find your, creative mojo, for want of a better term, to then go, right, it is. I tried filming my very first video when I was like, all right, I've got to get this video out. And I filmed it and I edited the whole thing together and I sent it to my brother, and my brother sent it back, within minutes of me sending it to him. So he didn't even get through the whole thing. And he said, this is rubbish. You're not even happy, man. Like, you're not, it looks like you're doing this at gunpoint. And I'm like, and I watched it back and, you take the ego out of it and go, okay, let's see, what he's on about. And he was right. I'm like, man, I look miserable. Like, what was I doing? So, you've got to try and sort of find, the energy to be able to sort of bring that to, and the creativity to sort of bring that to the video. And so that isn't always there. It's not like a switch. You go, okay, now I've finished doing this, now I've finished doing that. I'm just gonna turn it on and I'm gonna YouTube like a mofo. No, you can't. You've got to, you need at least 3 coffees, and you need to, you really need to be in the zone for it. And but I found planning stuff in advance helped that a lot. Mm-hmm. The other big hurdle was the technical aspect of it, like getting the camera settings right and that sort of stuff. So you've got something to edit, then getting the right software to edit it well, and then piecing it all together so it didn't look like a dog's breakfast. And then once you've done all that, if you created a good video and that sort of stuff and you're really happy with it, then the hard part is getting people to look at it. And that's been a big challenge, moving across, branching out onto Instagram has look, man, you probably should have a lot more subscribers than you do. You probably need to look at other platforms as well. So, so I'd say, the creativity, the technical aspects, and then I suppose the promotional side of it has been the 3 major, sort of hurdles that I've had to sort of learn how to deal with. Because I wouldn't say I've conquered them. I'm just learning how to deal with it better each time. Does that make sense?
Yes, it certainly does. Yeah. We should say almost up front that we're not discussing this topic because we are experts by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
we know what we know. We're limited by what we know, but we can share what we do know.
Very true.
Yeah, and so that's where this information comes from. We share it because we want to see more people get involved. Because we'll get into the why in a minute. But in terms of my challenge, I have had all sorts of challenges, and they varied. And I don't just produce videos. We videos, podcasts, and then just general sort of social media platforms, and just trying to do all that. And I have had, as I said earlier, ebb and flow. I've had really good times, and then times where I just have not. I've gone like 9 months without uploading a video, or I've gone like a month without posting, or just and so I say I've been on YouTube since 2014 or 15 or something like that. That is a completely unfair representation of what the amount of work I've actually done, because it is.
No, you've had an account since then. That's legit.
Correct. I think I had an account since 2012, but just sat there
killing it.
Yeah, so I would like to think that I've had all sorts of challenges. And so my first challenge was actually getting on camera. I actually recruited a mate of mine, Stewie, who you you may have come across.
I remember Stewie, yeah.
Yeah, and so Stewie, I'm like, oh, dude, can you be in these videos with me? Because, you're pretty good in front of a camera and you're pretty, out there and stuff like that. So he would do that, but he lived like 2 hours away from me. So we would get together on a Saturday, come down, and we just like smash through a stack of videos. And we do like 5 or 6 videos in a go. And then what was happening is we were building this public shooting range sort of business where people would come and shoot. And of course, people wanted to come and shoot on weekends. And Stewie worked during the week. And so we he'd be like, oh, when do you want to do the next videos? I'm like, I'm sort of busy for every weekend ever. And so that hit it. So by necessity, I guess I got in front of the camera because I'm like, well, I can either do no videos or I can try and work this out. And so that's really the path I went down in terms of that. And so I not willing to get in front of it's not so much not willing, just being super uncomfortable with getting in front of the camera. To the point now where I am bloody on people's screens 6 hours a week, unfortunately for them. It does not bother me much at all.
You're on their screen by their choice, man. I reckon it's,
I guess, yeah, fair.
It has to be popular in some respects.
So, I guess that's the thing. That's been it's not necessarily been a super confident self-esteem challenge. It's more just being comfortable staring at glass. And what's really odd is doing this format, and many guys would have worked out that there's a screen there. Ben, you're sitting there on the screen, but I'm looking at this piece of glass, and it's a very unusual way of doing things. But that has. Did you struggle with that at all? Was that challenging talking to camera day one?
It was, yeah. I hadn't done any kind of media stuff really ever, and it was very difficult to essentially look down the barrel every time and deliver something. And it took me a lot of scripting, early on, and I still script a lot of stuff so that I can deliver it without pausing and saying or using some of my other expletive spacer words. I still write out what I'm sort of looking above the camera. So if I'm looking like this, you can tell I'm not looking at you. So and if you do that, and I tried it, I'll just run cue cards and that'll be it's like, nah, man, that looks even worse than making shit up on the fly. So no, it was scripting helped me get a bit more comfortable, and coming to the realization that if it doesn't look good, you just shoot it again.
This is true.
And if you think it looks good, shoot it again. Yep.
I like it.
Maybe once more.
Once more.
Yeah. Because what you think is good, it doesn't always come across that good. So you've got to always have a couple in the bag there later on. Otherwise, you end up going through the editing process and going, "Holy shit, I don't have this shot, or I need to shoot that again." And then you find yourself chucking all your gear in the car, driving someplace, getting all that unpacked. I hope no one notices that it's an overcast day when the rest of the video's in bright blue sunlight. No, it'll be fine.
We'll fix it in post.
I'll shoot up against the car so I've got the car in the background so you can't see the sky. No, seamless, man.
Seamless. One of the things that you're just mentioning, like from day one, I was planning on doing a teleprompter type setup, and they're not cheap to get, but you can do it with an iPad, like put an iPad underneath the thing, and then you've got an angled piece of glass there, and it will bring up the thing, but it doesn't actually show up. And I haven't. And maybe that would help. Many would probably argue that could help, but I have found that there is benefit to be able to do it just straight to camera, off memory, or deliver a line or two at a time, that sort of thing. So that's been helpful. And other challenges have been, I guess, what you're talking about, creative. Trying to think of what to actually do. I've got a lot of footage that has never even got past editing. You film it and you're like, no, No, but I think
you're
that's
not,
one of the.
You don't feel it. You're
No.
not feeling it. It's you don't. Yeah, if you're not really excited about what it could become, it's very, very hard to work with that kind of footage. It's just it becomes laborious. Yeah.
But that goes two ways as well, because I think early days, you do that, just do it anyway, put it up, make it happen.
It's true.
And then as you get more experienced at that happens less as well. You are much more knowledgeable about, this is going to work, or I'm excited about this, or you don't even bother filming it when you're at that stage. It's been a challenge, but I think my biggest challenge over the entire period, if there was one lesson, was just being consistent in uploading. And that doesn't mean like there has to be a new video 3 times a week or once a month, whatever it is. It's just being regular with that. It's the hardest thing, but what it does is it builds momentum, and that is across all the algorithms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Haven't worked out TikTok yet, but through all those various algorithms, they reward consistent or constant posting, and so being able to do that.
And it seems like the more often you post, the better. And unfortunately, the algorithm does not care about the quality. It really does not. But if you are consistent, and look, that's how the guys like Casey Neistat and those guys, like, they build this enormous following just doing stuff.
Well, I mean, Casey
and filming it.
An incredible. I know you're not a big fan, but Casey is an incredible story in that, because he daily vlogged, put a 10-ish minute video up every day for a year and a half or something like that, and
it's incredible.
They were fascinating, quick little stories, and they were of reason. I mean, I'm not going to pick him on his quality, because there's a lot in there that is subtle and impressive, but they weren't like mind-blowing stuff, but they were good. They were really good. I'd be happy making videos that quality. So anyway, that's one of the big challenges, and we got asked a little bit. Well, I got asked a little bit about that previously, so we might delve into some questions quickly, Ben, because we've got all sorts of topics, and
absolutely
amazing how quickly time runs out. What do you think about... so there's a question here from Sheldrake, and I wanted to take a moment to give a shout-out to Sheldrake, because I noticed that since our episode a couple of weeks ago, whether it was happening prior or not, but it seemed that his post level, particularly on Instagram, upped, and he was constantly doing stories and constantly doing posts and just working it. And
nice.
I love to see that, because that's what happens, that's what works, and there have been a number of other guys, and Ben, if you've got anyone, let us know, but there's been a few other guys who have started to post a bit more, which is amazing to see, but he has been absolutely smashing it. And assuming you're watching, Dave, if you're doing it, sometimes it's very difficult because you don't see many results or likes or numbers. But what that comes down to is it becomes a numbers game. And so if you are consistently doing that, what you're doing is you're creating yourself a lot of data and information. And so if you do like 10 posts over, 3 months, right? It's basically you get no information from that. Your analytics are useless. You get nothing. You don't know what works, what doesn't. One could go to 20,000 people. One could go to 20 people, and you just you've got no real information. But if you've posted 1,000 times in that same period, you now have a huge amount of information.
More complete data.
From. Yeah. And you'll see trends because in the abstract it's not great, but if you hit something, some topic, some current topic, some evergreen topic, whatever it might be, but you hit something or you hit a style or something like that, and you see it just go beyond what it normally would, you're like, okay, all right, maybe my audience is enjoying that, or that's the trends, and you can follow that if you want to. You can make stuff just for yourself. That's also good. You constantly posting. So shout out to Dave. He has a quick question there, which do you think the idea of making videos using the format of a lesson plan would be a good idea?
In this lesson, you'll be taught. The reason you were taught this is so that you can.
All right. So this is a military thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Look, well, it's the only lessons that actually ever sunk in for me. So those are the only ones I ever remembered. Navigation, how not to get lost. Look, I think if you're delivering, if you're trying to do a video that is instructional in its intent, you can do that, and you can say, look, guys, in this video we're going to be doing this, and the reason that I wanted to do that is so that we can do X, Y, and Z, and hopefully by the end of this video you'll have an idea of how to do that. Because that's the reason to you're giving people the reason up front as to why they should watch the whole video. But from an entertainment point of view, it depends again. If you're my videos probably wouldn't work that well in that format, because essentially my stuff's more shooting based entertainment. Little bits of information chucked in there, but it went from trying to be more informational to now just being more shooting based entertainment type stuff. And for me, that format probably wouldn't work. But if you're doing something that is, you're trying to get that information across, I think it'll work. Yeah, absolutely, because it's a logical format. If you're going to deliver information to people, make it logical, make it easier to digest, and that lesson style format, probably would work and resonate well with people. So it can work.
I've got a quick answer for you, Sheldrake. Do 10 and then let us know. Because do 10 in 10 days and see what the data tells you, mate. Just do it.
It's not a bad idea, because the data doesn't lie.
Honestly,
it probably could. It's probably all manipulated by Facebook and people in big buildings, and corporations being all corporation-y and shit.
But I would say do a stack of them, do a bunch of them quickly in a format you can do, and see how they go. And if they go well, great. If there's no response, you've answered your question, move on. Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't tried it, so I can only speculate.
That's all right. Kieran asks, off-topic question: what does everyone use to indicate temperatures when annealing cases? In annealing cases use a thing called Templac. Kieran, that'll answer that topic.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, Ben Richard, do either of you have a plan B for when YouTube, Facebook, Instagram decide we are all the Antichrist and ban all firearms-related content? Ben?
No. I'm gonna ride the dragon, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride the dragon. Yeah. It's I mean, I guess we can also talk about monetization and that sort of stuff, because all guns are bad. YouTube will demonetize you if you're becoming quite successful. Is my understanding of it. I know that it's hard enough to get people to subscribe to my videos with the notification. And if you want to be notified, you've actually got to go back into your device settings and actually open it to then go back into YouTube to hit the little bell button, because otherwise it's just grayed out and you just can't get it because guns are bad. So is it a matter of time? Possibly. But if they do decide to deplatform everyone, then another platform will take its place like that. That's the only truth that I would probably bank on when it comes to social media. If one goes, someone else will fill that void, and they'll do it, quick, smart. Because they know there's money in it. But in the meantime, no, ride the dragon.
I will say that improvise, adapt, overcome type scenario. This is what we can do at the moment. This is what's available to us. I'm playing with some other formats and bits and pieces, and just adapt. I mean, this stuff changes. Like the types of videos you made 5 years ago are definitely not the type of videos you make now if you want to stay current. So you have to continually be updating and go from there. Dan mentions MeWe, just hasn't got the user base. You need some massive shift to happen. And Ben's looking confused, like No, I don't.
What?
Don't
Did you say wee?
Yeah, something like that. So it's good, but it just it needs the user base, and that won't come until something major happens elsewhere. So we just smash whatever we can, get out there, and if they kick us all off,
until we get deplatformed and
we'll
move
just go
on
somewhere else. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. Something new will come out. I mean, all sorts of stuff continues to come out. Robbie asks, what's the best place to start with recording, editing, and getting footage out there? Great question, Robbie.
Oof, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll answer first, if I may, Ben.
Yeah, go for it, man. Yep.
That. Just if that's what you've got, use that. There are all sorts of apps you can do. There's all sorts of apps that you can use for editing. I'm just having a look at it. I think we did cover this on the other show. But look, iMovie on an iPhone is good. A little app called Rotate and Flip, which will change your horizontal, vertical, which should probably talk about now. We'll save that for a minute. It's its own topic in itself. If you are recording, like if you're set up a little bit better with another camera and editing software, Ben, what software are you running? Because that's free.
Yeah, I'm running a software package called DaVinci Resolve. It's up to, I think, version 16.8 or 17 or something like that. And it is free. And all the editing that I've done on all my videos is free software package. So, if you like the look of the videos that I do, if you haven't seen them, go to the Long Gun Project, subscribe, and then you'll see. But if you like the...
Love it.
That was subtle, wasn't
it? Yeah. Subscribe to Long Gun.
That's it. So that's DaVinci Resolve, and there's good tutorials from all over the place on there, and it's interface wise and that sort of stuff. There's a lot going on there. You can do all your editing. You can do all your animated titles and transitions and that sort of stuff. You can color grade, you can audio grade, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff in there. So it's pretty comprehensive for something that is free.
Yep.
You use Adobe Premiere, don't you?
I do. Yep.
Yeah.
With YouTube on it, and start looking up how to edit in DaVinci and then how to do this and how to do that, because there is so much information around it, and it looks confusing when you start.
It is. Yeah, it looks very confusing, but what you described is exactly what I did.
100%.
Yep. Yeah. I had the computer there, had the tablet there, and just, right, what's the first thing I want to do? I want to get all this stuff on the timeline. How do I do that? Monkey see, monkey do until it became muscle memory.
Yep.
But I mean, that's if you're running a camera. I mean, but you can still edit your phone footage.
Yep.
Like if you've got one of the new iPhones, the cameras in those are really, really good.
Cheers.
Yeah. You can get a gimbal for one of those damn things.
Yeah.
For a couple of $100, and you can have the smoothest footage ever.
Oh,
run it all on a phone, and then just flick it across, and then you can edit it as you would edit any other, video and that sort of stuff. So there's a lot you can do with very little.
And I think the thing is is putting it out there. We talked about before, like one of the best ways is just to put stuff out there, and it does not have to be perfect. I mean, look at my videos, but it does not have to be perfect, and it is better to be out there at 80% complete than it is sitting on your edit program for the next 12 months, Rusty, and not actually release it. I've learned that lesson. Just get it out there, because that allows you to put it out there, be done with it, and move on to something else. And you will learn. If you're learning 5% each time, you're eventually going to be cracking 100%. So just keep on uploading. So and if people will tell you, send it to someone you respect their video and say, hey man, what do you think of this? What could I tweak? Like, what's one little thing that could improve it a whole stack? Because often that's the case. You don't have to change 400 things. You just change one thing. It might be a little better. So I think that is good. Let's have a little look here. Do you have, and this brings us on to the next point we were going to talk about. This is from Edric. Do you have an end goal with your social media efforts? And this comes down to, I had down as why we're doing whatever it is that we're doing. So, Ben, have you got any like major grand schemes to take over the world with your videos?
Perhaps disappointingly, no, not really. I mean, I guess the thing that I want to be able to get from it is to keep doing it, and to do it, to do more videos more often, to do the stuff that people are interested in, the stuff that interests me. I'd like to see the sport and long range sort of shooting related stuff grow, and I'd like to think that what we do helps that.
Yep.
But in terms of look, I don't think I'm going to get a reality television deal, and I'm okay with that. That's not what I wanted. Honestly, it's not. It's.
I like that you had to clarify that so much.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're all thinking.
A minute. No, it's like this like very few people get to do what probably the most successful example is Rob Finkling with Beyond the Divide.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on TV, but he's buried in community television on Channel 11 after 7 p.m. or some bloody thing. But he did Australia doesn't have a market for that kind of programming. In the States, completely different story.
Yeah.
But here, social media stuff, YouTube, that kind of thing is where it's at for this kind of content, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. That's I just like to just continue to do it as long as I can, and as long as people are interested in doing it. So that's kind of that was my goal. But did you have the Rupert Murdoch style world domination, media plan, man? Or
I was never that.
What was your why?
I was never that delusional, mate. I was never that delusional. I guess it's a bit of a circle for Projectile Warehouse and Scoped Out keep me in the ability to do it, and in turn, those businesses get promoted through what we do, and then to another extent, PRS and bits and pieces. But that's not. It's sort of like this circular motion where, it doesn't. Let's put it this way: it doesn't make sense to spend the amount of time I do making videos for the net gains that I make. So there's not a financial. It would be better for me to spend more time working on my websites or bits and pieces. It is certainly not from money. I'm just looking up the monetization from YouTube to let everyone know how much I have made over. Okay, so my first videos were in 2013, it seems. When was this? Yeah, December 1st, 2013, uploaded my first video. And in those 6.5 years, I have made a grand total. I have had an income of grand total from YouTube, $884.
Woo-wee. There you go, man.
So if you want to break that down, the camera I'm staring at has a $3,000 lens on it.
Look, guys, if you think that being a professional YouTuber
that's generous
is going to be if that's what you want, then you need to look at the Casey Neistats, the PewDiePies, the Peter McKinnons. Those guys have millions of followers.
Yeah,
millions, literally millions. The population of Australia will follow one of these people. And their content is entirely benign. It's not offensive. It's not gun related, and therefore it can be monetized successfully. And they will make enough of a living out of that to allow them to. Most of them have other jobs.
Yeah,
they just take a camera everywhere they go. Well, hell, Peter McKinnon's job is carrying a camera everywhere he goes. So, it's not. if you think everyone's in YouTube for the money, it's not about the money, guys. It's really not.
No,
it's really not.
So
you're making stuff. You're making stuff for yourself.
Yeah, and that's it. And so for the wife and me, I mean, I'm super passionate about this sport, about shooting in general, and obviously more focused around the PRS and that side of things. And it goes hand in hand with what I do professionally as well. But I would make videos anyway. Because I enjoy that process, I enjoy doing it. We did all this stuff prior to even when I was working other jobs and bits and pieces. We've done all that. So, Ben says $800. Isn't that about 40 pieces of GT brass? Maybe. maybe.
What's it to you? You shut up.
So, the why is because we enjoy it, but there is just the factor of you and I hung out and did a video together. We've been able to been in a position where this whole COVID thing kicks in. We've got the equipment from the podcast mostly that we can do all this live stuff. We've got managed to meet the people who can come on the show and all right, press the go button. I've not spent a cent on anything extra to make this show happen, and so we're very fortunate to be in that position, and here we are. Hopefully, we're kicking on. So it has some amazing benefits. You got the chance to look around Lithgow. Which
it has brought me in contact with a lot of really great people. In the shooting community and that sort of stuff. Because if you've got a camera and you want to, this is new for me. If you've got a camera and you say to someone, "Hey, look, I'd really love to do this. Can you help me?" You would be surprised at the amount of people who want to help you.
Yeah.
Who are happy to do that. It really is kind of it's a bit mind blowing when you just, look, I'd like to do this, and someone go, "Oh yeah, no, absolutely, man. I'll just talk to so and so and just make that happen." Yeah. It's like, I know the guy. I'll call him. Hang on, I'll just get my phone. It's like, oh shit. I was. You mentioned it in passing, and then all of a sudden,
videos, and we were just like, man, this was one of our goals, one of our long-term goals. This is 2013. Long-term goal, like next 5 years maybe, or something. Mm-hmm. We might be able to get to a Shot Expo and interview some people at Shot Expo. That was that was the extent of what we were hoping to do sometime in the next 5 years, maybe plus. And
you did that what year before last?
2014. Now this is Shot Expo in Australia, mate. Shot Expo.
Oh, Shot Expo Australia.
And we weren't even that ambitious to think we'd get over to the US for Shot.
Right. I thought,
So that was our goal. That was our big goal. We're like, man, one day maybe the stars will align and we get there. And I guess so. Even if you're like, oh mate, I don't really know what's going to come out of it. Just get out and do it because, managed to get to the US a couple of times and done a bunch of videos over there and all sorts of podcasts and stuff with crew that I've met over there, and it's been the whole thing has been an incredible experience. And I look back and I wish I had worked harder. That's I wish I had put more out. Not because it would have been better experience. I'm very happy for the experiences I've got, but it's just I enjoyed it and I talked to earlier in the show about just pushing lots more and pushing yourself to do more. Whatever you can do is good. So I think my little bit of regret, Ben, comes from I know I could have done more. I look at it and go, I did.
Yeah, there's whys and wherefores. That sort of sometimes. If you're not in the zone for 9 months, you can kick yourself for not doing it, but at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to make it feel any better. It's
you may
but I know what you mean. You sort of think I missed an opportunity there. That always stings, but
and usually it's for me like a lot of the stuff that I've let pass has been. I just can't be bothered getting the camera out at the moment, and I should have. I definitely should have. If you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll get someone to film me running this stage, Oh no, I don't want to ask anyone. I don't want any convenient. Just do it. Just people will be happy to do it.
Ask them.
And
yep. Guys don't mind. Just pick on the guy who's already shot.
Yep.
So that you're not interfering with anyone's stage prep.
Yep.
Just go, hey man, I need you just and you never know, they might be really good on it, or could just be.
You end up with 2 minutes of selfies. Yeah.
2 minutes of this. The guy holding your camera backwards or something.
Yes.
But you never know. Or it could be really good. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Could be really good. So Ben's offering
50-50.
Ben's offering to do it for everyone. Actually, talking about money, Patreon. You don't run a Patreon account at all. Has the thought ever crossed your mind? And have people offered or asked or anything like that?
Look, the thought has crossed my mind.
Yep.
And I, and I've thought about it, and because contrary to what people might think, doing this stuff does cost you money.
Yes.
It costs you money in lots of ammunition, fuel, and that sort of stuff. And but you do it anyway because it's your personal undertaking.
Yeah.
But the Patreon thing does make a lot more sense. That, hey guys, if you want me to keep putting great content out, helping me
chip in,
financially to be able to do that, will help me, either buy a bit of gear to make better quality videos, or just do more of them, or something along those lines.
Yep.
That kind of stuff really helps. I don't know. I don't know the reason why I haven't done a Patreon thing yet, and I don't know. I've never been comfortable asking anybody for money.
Yeah.
And it's not. I know that that's not how Patreon works. Patreon's out there, and it's, hey guys, if you would like to contribute, here's how.
Voluntary.
But it's I don't know whether it's sort of, I don't want to put it out there and then be disappointed when no one loves me enough to send me any cash, or
I think
or I just feel like a jerk for asking. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Guys, do you think I should run Patreon? Whack that in the comments.
So we've had a Patreon for predominantly the podcast for a little while actually, and the guys have been excellent and been super forgiving with the lack of providing some information, and I put it when this whole Corona thing kicked in, I put it on hold.
Yep.
So it's currently on hold for two reasons. One, people are doing it. Many people are doing it tough right now, and they don't need to contribute to, as I said, to do what I'm doing now. We haven't spent any extra money, and for the podcast is on hold at the moment until we basically can get into a room again together, which may not be too far away, to be fair. And so.
Yep.
That is, I guess that's where things are at the moment. But I put it also on hold because I'm not sure. It's crossed my mind as to whether or not we want to. It's you want to take care of the guys that do it, and we restructured it earlier this year, I think, where we sort of expanded it to the larger Impact Dynamics universe, I guess, videos and stage show podcast and a few other things, and then we upped what we were going to do, or we'll change what we were going to do in terms of things that we could actually commit to, and I'm not unhappy with the formats we chose. I think that was good, but I'm just not sure whether or not it's the path we want to continue to go down. So it's on hold for this scenario, and then perhaps at the end of this scenario, when it seems appropriate to turn it back on, I might have that discussion with the Patreon guys and see where they're at and where we're at. Our last goal was to get some additional cameras so we could actually live broadcast our podcasts on a video format. And so they rather than they're just some small little HD cameras that we're able to flick into the mixer that we've got and be able to do that. And they were about the $500 a piece each we wanted to get 4 of them, or maybe 3 of them. We can use this one comfortably, and so but that takes a while. It takes a while to build that money if you're getting $100 a month. So, but so like it would add some benefit, but I don't know. Maybe we just sell some more projectiles and pay for it. Maybe, hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah, one of the things that I know that you offer your Patreon guys, exclusive sort of podcast material and that kind of stuff. So and I was always worried about, well, what do I offer a Patreon supporter as a YouTuber if the stuff that they don't see is the stuff I don't really want anyone to see because it's on the editing room floor type thing, you get as a Patreon supporter, you're going to get to see all the stuff that wasn't even good enough to make the video I put on YouTube that everyone can see.
That's a really fair point, because
that is not selling itself.
No,
I'm not providing a value add for somebody who's going to support me on Patreon. That was a bit of a worry. So I'm like, I don't know. Do I get some hats made? Do I send them a hat? What do you do?
Yeah. So that's the point. So with the podcast side of things, we will commonly, and particularly in more recent times, this last 6 months or whatever, we would record like an extra question at the end of our podcast that was sort of on topic, but fairly off topic, just to one side, and we would then, and that was always intended to be like a 5-minute little bonus, and we'd often turn into 10 to 20 depending on how much Dutchy distracted us, but that was so the Patreon version was uncensored as well. There was no beeps in it, so there was a couple little sort of things there that were built in, but not the behind the scenes edits that you were just wanting to throw out. But I think if you're going to do Patreon and you provide really good value to those guys, I think there's certainly an argument for that. I'm just pretty unsure at the moment. So anyway, that's where my head's at with that. We've probably got time for one. But one thing that came up before, and we were talking about Sheldrake's video where he was talking about refilming part of his video because he used vertical video versus horizontal video, which is a challenge that we have you encountered that, Ben? Has that been a problem for you, or you've always gone horizontal?
My preference is always horizontal. Yeah. No, I do have a couple of bits I might use in my videos. I use a little adapter that helps me film through my camera on my spotting scope. Yep. So to get any spotting scope footage and that sort of stuff, I use that, and I can insert it as vertical footage, and I can just have 2 bits of black either side, or I can zoom it right in and fill the screen with it. But it's I tend because I'm using the camera the right way all the time, and I use I shouldn't say the right way all the time. I'm using a camera, so I'm not using a phone to film. I'm using a camera.
Yes.
So the orientation remains the same.
Yep.
So that for me is never really an issue. However, a YouTuber that both you and I follow, Peter McKinnon, he devoted a whole episode about changing the format, from whatever it was, standard 16:9 sort of widescreen to a different format to actually fit the screen of a phone, because he figured out that the majority of people are watching his videos on a phone.
Yep.
So he went, right, if I'm doing 16:9, I'm wasting all this screen space. Yep. So he completely changed the format of his videos to suit the device or devices that it was being viewed on most. So I thought that was kind of interesting that he went to that extent. But that's all these videos. If you watch it on a phone, it fills the whole screen, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my take with that is that it is very end goal in mind. And so if you are filming for Instagram, you should film vertical. if you are filming for YouTube, you should film horizontal. And if you don't know what you're filming for, film 4K and then work it out later. Because
if you've got the detail, you're laughing.
You've done that on many occasions where you're like, oh, this could end up on both. So you film in a much higher resolution, and that way you just make sure that your subject is centered appropriately, and that way you can zoom in and create a vertical video, or you can leave it as it is and do that. So I've certainly have adapted that on many occasions, and then and vice versa. Like if you're filming vertical and you can get much higher quality, then do so, and then bring it down to a horizontal by zooming in. I've had that go both ways, and it's been fine. It's not it's less than ideal, but it works. But I certainly am a big believer that you should create the content in the format you want to deliver it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so. And exactly what you said. People are much more inclined to watch a video on a phone vertically than they are to kick it sideways, unless it's like a longer form video. Then they if they're watching Netflix, they're all sideways. So people will adapt with that. But some platforms deal with that better than others, depending on what your goal is. Yeah. But that video in general is king. And so if you're on Facebook, Instagram, some Snapchat and TikTok are only video, and YouTube is predominantly video. Although have you got a community tab yet?
I don't know. Okay. I'm assuming I'd find it up the top in the menu bar somewhere.
You at 1,000 yet? You need to be at 1,000.
I do not believe I'm at 1,000.
We need to get some work in to get Ben to 1,000.
Well, look, if anyone wants to share.
Ben, I know what your next team impact goal is get Ben to 1,000. That's we're going to get that trending.
That actually would have been a far better, less painful way of achieving a goal for this team impact.
Well,
it's too late to change.
Another week and we'll be less than a week and we'll be resetting to new goals, mate. So I reckon we've just nailed your next goal. But anyway, how do we get onto that? Doesn't matter. The point being that the stats on if you were trying to broad reach as far as you can, video is far more engaging. So if you can do video, always do video, and supplement with photos and bits and bits. But video is absolute king of those.
I've been kicking the idea around and I've had some advice from a number of sectors, yourself included, to branch across onto Facebook for the Long Gun Project and
is this the reveal of it's been launched and we can all go like it now?
No, not yet, because I was mucking around with it today.
Oh, yeah? Good.
I was mucking around with it today, and I'm like a T-Rex. I'm like, don't put that on TikTok, by the way.
Just making a note of that.
I'm so bad at figuring it. Don't even. Oh shit! You're making a note.
T-Rex. TikTok.
Damn it.
Beautiful. Anyway, good.
I've been, I was trying to figure out, am I a brand, am I a product, what is it? It's asking me all these questions. I'm like, I don't know. Shut up. Facebook, go away. I'll drink 3 beers and I'll figure you out later. But I didn't. My hope was to actually. I was initially intending, when I woke up this morning, to actually. Put something on, build the Long Gun Project Facebook page. And then, by the way, guys, you can totally go and check that shit out on Facebook.
That's what I was hoping for. That was,
mate. Oh, look, I was hoping too.
Yeah.
And,
mate, if you were being
and
there.
Then 3 beers later, it's like, stuff my dreams. I don't care.
Fucking impact, eh?
We've been all over it, mate.
Impact, mate.
Oh, well, that's all right. Anyway, cool. So, guys, actually, one last little shout out. Emma Stevens started her Facebook page, and she, in like a week, has gone to 780 likes or something like that. Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. Sensational. She's putting up content fairly regularly, and it's actually a lot of the stuff she's done really well. Where it's just been real and just photos and bits and pieces, and really good example of that. And hopefully, Emma, if you're watching or if you watch later on, keep on going. And Emma and I have an announcement to make next Monday night as part of Team Impact for next time challenge, which will be exciting. But anyway, all looking forward to that. All right, Ben, is there anything else you want to cover? We are pretty much cranking out at time, but
no, that's right, man. We've gone a little over, but Is there any last minute questions that you want to address while we?
Oh, mate, I think
anything you want to entertain, or
we will see. There's no particular questions there, which is good because I think if we put it out there, we may get some. So let's leave it there. Let's wrap it up there, mate. Ben, if we not that we don't want to ask questions, we also have other things to do, and. One tip: if you want to start a daily live show, segment about 4 hours a day off to the side. It's more work than some people thought it was. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Make sure you follow the Long Gun Project on YouTube. We are going to get Ben to 1,000, even though it's not his official goal yet, but we're going to make sure we get you there. And that's the goal because the videos are good, and more people need to see them. So we'll work out how we're going to make that all happen, and no doubt you guys will be on board because Ben's top bloke and makes really good stuff. So we will work on that.
Thanks,
and the Long Gun Project. Where are we up to? We're jumping ahead on goals, but you're at 639 subscribers. All right, so that's the goal. Let's make this happen. Get a Facebook and we will smash this. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Ben, thanks for being involved. And quick little things. We'll be back tomorrow night with another show and Zoom hangs tomorrow night. So look forward to chatting with all you guys there. All right, see you, Ben. Catch you guys.
Take it easy, man.
Pretty baby.